mouse is working. Children, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, miss, we can
Yes,
see it.
ma'am.
Okay. Please wait. Okay. So, what is the slide which is appearing for you?
2 glasses and 3 glasses, ma'am.
Three
Plastic glass.
glasses, ma'am.
3 glasses are there, miss.
What is the meaning
Yes,
of
ma'am.
this? What is the meaning of this?
There is a transparent glass, translucent glass, and an
Opaque.
opaque.
Yeah. So we have
Yes,
different
ma'am.
kinds of objects. Okay. The objects we will classify into three types based on physics related to reflection concept. Okay. We will classify the objects into three types. One is transparent objects. Second one is, what is second one? What is the
Translucent,
what is the pronunciation?
translucent,
Yeah. One is transparent. Second one is translucent. Third one is opaque.
opaque.
Opaque. I'm repeating again: transparent objects, translucent objects, and then third one is opaque. Transparent, translucent, opaque. Then I have given three glasses over there. Which one is transparent object there? Which one is translucent
The,
object there? Which one is opaque object? Now you have to tell me.
the clear
Ma'am,
one is
glass one is
transparent,
transparent, ma'am.
Okay, the
and the
clear
green one
glass.
is
And
translucent.
green one is translucent
Translucent.
and the blue one
One
is
is
The green
opaque.
opaque.
one is opaque,
Okay.
miss.
So the clear one, the empty, mean like the light colored, the plain one is called as transparent, and slightish green colored, slightish, it was not very clear, and at the same time it was not completely blocked. So this kind of green colored glass we can classify as translucent. And finally, you can see one blue colored object where it was completely packed and it was hard, and this is called as opaque object. Okay, so we have three categories of objects. So what is transparent object? An object which passes some light into it
Through it.
or towards it or through it is called as transparent
Transparent.
object. What is translucent object? An object
When
that
the
lets some light pass through it is called as
mm,
not complete light, but some light, partial. Okay, an object that lets or that allows some light to pass through it is called as translucent objects. Then what are opaque objects? An object
the
that will not allow any light to pass through it is called as opaque object. An object that will not allow any light to pass through it is called as opaque objects. Is it clear, children? What is transparent objects? What is the definition of transparent object?
Transparent object means light can pass
It
easily through the
allows
object.
light
Yeah,
to
light
yeah,
can
pass
pass
through it.
easily through the
Object.
is
yeah,
called as transparent.
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 And what
The
is
object which
translucent?
allows light to pass through it.
Partially, not completely.
Partially.
Okay, an object that allows
Partial.
only some light, not complete light, to pass through it is called as translucent. What
Translucent.
are opaque objects then?
The objects that do not
The object
The
allow any
objects
which
block light
block
from
the way,
traveling to
block.
them.
Yeah, the
Uh,
objects which do not allow any kind of light or any amount of light to pass
to
through
pass through it.
is called
Through
as
it.
opaque objects. So can you tell me some examples for transparent objects?
Ma'am,
Yes,
glass.
ma'am. Ma'am, this course book sheet is there now, ma'am. Uh,
Children, just your voice.
Water. Fresh water, ma'am.
Fresh water is an example for
Transparent.
Transparent. Okay.
Miss, how does water
Ma'am,
get
glass,
light
ma'am,
through it?
glass.
Water we can take it as translucent also, but it depends upon the
Yeah.
clarity of the water. If the water is crystal
That's
clear,
why I told fresh water, ma'am.
yeah. Okay, and further examples. Further example,
Ma'am,
For
glass.
glass. Okay, good. And
Or no,
translucent, uh,
Butter paper, tissue paper.
Glass that is kind of not so clear.
yeah, butter
Those
paper, wax paper, smoke,
mm,
fog.
Tissue paper.
okay, so they are all called as translucent. Okay,
Opaque means like all wood
Wood.
table,
Ink.
wall.
plastic. Wait, not
door.
plastic.
Ma'am, wall.
okay, right. I have given some. I mean, there were few examples which you can differentiate. Okay, 1 minute. Few children are lately joining into the class. So here I have given some examples, not all examples. You can see translucent, okay, lamp, sunglasses, wax paper, a sheet of paper. So these are all examples for translucent. Then transparent window, open window, light plastic bag, transparent plastic bag, some kind of plastic wraps with transparent color, then glass beaker. So these are all comes under transparent. Then
Miss,
yes,
I have a question.
yes,
You said that water is transparent, and transparent means it has to allow light let through it, pass through it.
yes.
But how can water allow light pass through it? Doesn't it reflect?
Yeah, it reflects. Water reflects.
Then
Okay, that is the reason I did not said it is completely transparent. Okay, right? So one of
oh,
your
okay,
friends stated that it is transparent, but I did not accept it for it. I think you did not hear it. Okay, right.
okay.
Opaque. A few examples I have given. It is like mug, and then tree, plastic cup, book. So these are all examples for opaque objects. So now I think all of you have understood what is meant by transparent objects. So one more clear point which we can also define is transparent objects do not cast shadows because they do not block light. So cast shadows means when some light is passed through transparent objects, we will not have,
Only opaque objects
yeah,
can block light.
we will not have any shadow because transparent objects allow light through them. They do not block any light. When you talk about shadow, shadow appears whenever there is some blocking of light. When light, if a light is not passed through a particular object, through it, then that particular object appears as a shadow when light is reflected on it. Okay, so here when we talk about transparent objects, they do not form any shadows because they do not block any light. And if I talk about translucent objects, they form very light shadows. Okay, because they are partially allowing the light through pass to them. Okay, they will not completely allow the light to pass through them, but they partially allow some light to pass through them. So when I talk about translucent, they form some faint shadows or light shadows. Okay, then when I talk about opaque objects, they form very dark shadows. Okay, they form very dark shadows because they block light completely. They do not allow any light to pass through them, so they block light completely. Hence we can see dark shadows formed when light is focused on opaque objects. Is it clear, children? Yes or no?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me move the slide once. So generally when you have a power failure in your house, Okay, when you lit a candle or a small lamp, okay, if you put your hand near the candle or near the lamp, and if you observe on the wall, what do you observe, children?
Ma'am, the
A
reflection.
shadow.
See, this will happen when whenever in olden days also this kind of this is the game
Shadow.
generally some small children will play whenever they have some kind of power failure. Okay, when mother lights a candle or when mother lights a lamp, they go near the lamp and they'll put their fingers, okay, near
Ah,
the
yes,
lamp,
ma'am.
and then that the kinds of designs of fingers, okay, they change the fingers design, and then so that the shadow will appear on the wall, okay. And they will also observe that if they take their fingers closer, okay, closer to the light, okay, the bigger the shadow they will find. And if they move away their hand or fingers from the candle or from the light source, the shadow's size also will decrease. So the size of the shadow will increase and decrease based upon the position of the fingers. I mean, they are placed nearer to the light source or far away from the light source. Based on that, the shadow size will increase or decrease. Okay. So this is all called as, what are those images called as? Those all images are called as shadows. What are those images called as, children? Shadow.
Shadow.
Can you tell me one real example which you have experienced actually in your life? Okay, till now, any one example which you have played in your house, uh, or
Yes,
any
during
one example
evenings.
which is related to shadow.
Ma'am, can I say, ma'am?
Yes,
Can I say one?
one.
Ma'am, ma'am, when there is a power cut, when I was in a small age, I used to see my shadow on the wall, ma'am.
Okay.
I used to
What?
scare that he is a ghost, ma'am, when I was small.
Okay.
When I used to cry, ma'am, after
Sometimes if
becoming.
we walk fast, the shadow will also walk fast.
Ah, yes,
If
ma'am.
we walk
Then I
Yeah.
slow,
used to
the
feel like
shadow will
anything.
also walk slow. When we move away, the shadow will become small. When we come
Small.
closer,
Yes, ma'am.
the shadow will become bigger, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is all called as, shadow. This is all concept is related to the this
Shadow.
concept is related to the shadow. Okay.
Yes.
So I have given one examples here. You can see, 1 minute. See here, there is a girl. Okay, there is a light source. She has taken a stand, and then for that stand, she has hanged a ball. You can see the ball also. With a small thread, she has hanged the ball there, and the girl has switched on the light source. And there was a screen also, white colored screen is also there. Okay, so now when the ball, what is happening, children? The shadow of the ball is appearing on the screen. You can see clearly
On the
the
screen. Yes,
black
ma'am. On the
colored,
white screen.
yeah, the round black colored structure you can see. So now if the ball is taken closer to the light source, the shadow will increase. If the ball is moved away from the light source, the shadow will decrease. Okay, this is one example. So how can we define shadow?
According to the distance, ma'am.
It depends upon the distance between
Distance.
the light source and the object. Okay, so if I want to define the shadow, you can also write these all shadows occurs majorly on the opaque objects. Okay, when we want to talk about shadow, we will take opaque objects. Okay, ball is an opaque object there, so we can understand the shadow concept whenever we experiment with the opaque objects, because opaque objects cast shadows because they do not pass any light through them. Okay, so when I want to define, uh, okay, I can define like this: when a beam of light shines on an opaque object, mean when a beam of light is passed on an opaque object, okay, then what happens? The light rays, okay, the light rays which reach this opaque object are stopped, because opaque object stops all the light rays which are passing on it. It will not allow any light rays through it. It will stop there. So then this the stopped rays, the stopped light rays, what they will do? They will divert from the edges. They will divert from the edges and continue their path. For example, if the object is there, okay, near the object, the object will not allow it. The object will not allow the light to pass through it. So this light rays will go above the object, from the above the object, or from below of the object. And finally, they form like a shadow. The object is formed like a shadow. So so this can be defined like this. You can write down in your running notes also. This point is important. When a beam of light, when a beam of light shines on an opaque object, when a beam of light shines on an opaque object, the light rays, the light rays which reach the object, which reach the object are stopped, which reach the object are stopped, while those rays, while those rays which pass by the edges continue on their path. Which pass by the edges.
Ma'am, say again, ma'am.
But they should reflect now, ma'am.
Yeah, they are reflected like a shadow. Okay. What should reflect, Naina? I did not get your point. Who has responded now?
Nagadatta, ma'am. Not
Nagadatta
Naina.
respond. Okay, first of all,
Ma'am, when a ray of light pass through that transparent, it will go now, ma'am. But in this is opaque now, ma'am. It should reflect now, ma'am.
it is passing through the edges. Okay. For example, 1 minute later,
When it is passing through the edges, how can we see that correct
one
hole,
minute,
ma'am?
I am writing here. You can watch. Please wait.
Ma'am, what you said, no, say again, ma'am.
I will
Which
tell you.
is the
First,
object?
the concept should be clear, right? Who is responding now? I'm writing here. Can you see, Nana? So
Yes, ma'am.
this is a ball.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, miss, we can see it.
Okay. This is a ball. Okay. So if this is a ball, here light is passing. Okay. You can see the light source clearly, and the light is passing. So this ball. 1 minute. This ball is not allowing the light rays. So the light rays, they are passing from the edges. Okay, this ball is having edges now. So whatever the light rays are there, they are diverted from the edges. Like this, the light rays are diverted from the edges. But the ball will not allow the light to pass through them. So whatever the light rays, these light rays, they are diverted from the edges. Okay. And this object, finally, the ball is reflected like a shadow here. Okay. It is reflected like a shadow here. This region, actually, this was not given in your textbook. But if I want to define also, did you understand? This region is called as umbra.
Umbra.
Okay. This region
And
is
the other is
called
for
as
penumbra.
umbra. Okay. So the ball do not allow light to pass through it. Hence, this is reflected as a shadow. Okay. And other area, it will be like light shadow. Okay. It is like light colored. Okay. So this region is called as penumbra. What is it
Penumbra.
called as?
Penumbra.
Yeah.
Penumbra, miss? How do we pronounce it?
Uh,
We pronounce it as penumbra, right?
yeah, we pronounce it as penumbra. Okay.
Okay.
So I have one more picture for this. Please wait. Okay. 1 minute. I'll clear all the drawings. This you can see, children. There is a torch. Okay. and I have placed apple there. Apple is which object there? Apple is which object?
Opaque object.
Opaque object. So it will not pass light in through it. So the light rays are diverted from its edges. The light rays are passed from its edges, and the apple, wherever the apple region is there, it forms like a shadow there. Okay, the dark colored region inside the middle of the shadow is called as umbra, and surrounding some light colored shadow region is called as penumbra.
Penumbra.
Okay, so this is how
Yes, ma'am.
the shadows will form. Somebody is writing. Once again I'm repeating that point, please understand, please write it down. When a beam of light shines on an opaque object, the light rays which reach the object are stopped, while those rays which pass by the edges continue on their path. A region a region without light a region without light is created. A region without light is created and is called a shadow. Can
Ma'am,
someone
say again, ma'am.
can someone repeat this? Children, did you note it down?
Ma'am, you say from which pass through
1 minute.
there.
If anybody has
Ma'am, once repeat the 2 points, ma'am.
which points? I want to repeat it.
Yes.
Okay, once again I'm repeating. Please note it down. When a beam of
Ma'am,
light
say slowly, ma'am.
shines on an opaque object, when a beam of light shines on an opaque object, OPAQUE, opaque spelling. OPAQE, opaque object. The light rays will reach the object. Are stopped while those rays which pass by the edges which pass by the edges continue on their path continue on their path a region without light is created a region without light is created, and it is called a shadow. So in this picture we have to identify that the shape of the shadow will not be identical to the shape of the object. Okay, it would be bigger in size or it would be smaller in size. The bigger in size or smaller in size depends upon where the object is placed. If the object is placed very nearer to the source of light, then the shadow will be bigger in size, and if the object is placed far away from the source of light, then the shadow will be smaller in size. Okay, next,
Miss,
one more slide. Yes, please.
how does the size of the light source affect the, shadow, darkness, and lightness?
It is, physical phenomena. Okay, it is a physical phenomena. How does means? It is a physical phenomena. When a
No,
source
but
of
what
light,
causes the penumbra? What
That
makes
is
it lighter?
penumbra is the light colored area. Okay, the dark colored, shadow, we call it as umbra, and the light colored shadow region, we will name it as penumbra. Okay, this is all
Penumbra.
physical phenomena. Okay,
Okay.
which happens naturally. Okay, I cannot explain why it is happening. Right. Next, this is also one more slide. Okay, here you can see source of light. Okay, it could be a candle, it could be a torch, or it could be any source of light. And then source of light is there. I have placed one small cylinder. You can place here anything. You can place a ball, you can place a cylinder, you can place any opaque object. Okay, so if I place this cylinder, the shadow will appear in the form of a cylinder. If I place a rectangle, the shadow will appear in the form of a rectangle. If I place a ball, the shadow will appear in the form of a ball. So this is how the shadow appears on the screen.
Ma'am, if there is a translucent object, shadow will be not appear, na, ma'am.
Shadow will appear, but you will not have umbra region there. Umbra and penumbra
Oh.
specifications are there. That specifications will not.
Even transparent also same, ma'am.
What is that, Nana?
Even if there is a transparent object also, there
Transparent
will
is
be
what I'm. Transparent means no shadow formed actually.
yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Transparent means no shadow formed. Translucent means partial shadows they will form. They are not differentiated into umbra and penumbra. Only penumbra will be there. Total, it is in light shadow, or
Yes,
faint
ma'am.
shadows. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
transparent means you will find like this. Okay,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
okay. So this is one concept. Next, you have to understand about this angles of reflection. So I have
Angles
taken
of
a torch. Okay, I have taken a torch, and then I have just blowing the light from the torch onto the ground or any screen you can take. Okay, ground, that rectangular screen I have taken, and I just switched on torch, and I'm passing the source of light or light rays. And when this light rays are touching the surface, okay, when they are striking the surface, they are getting reflected. So this is one concept of reflection. Okay, so when I'm switching on the torch, or when I'm passing the light source, okay, so here this torch, can you see the mouse cursor which I'm showing?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, so this light source, whatever the light rays which are coming from this light source, these light sources are called as incident rays. What they are called as? Incident rays. And this light is, when it is touching the screen, it is reflected. So these rays are called as reflected rays. There are two types of rays. One are incident rays, and then second one is reflected ray. What is incident ray? Whenever light ray, okay, light ray from the light source that strikes the reflecting surface is called as incident ray. Okay, light, we call light rays. I told you what are rays and what is a beam. So light travels in straight lines which are called as rays. So these rays which are coming from the light source and touching the surface, okay, reflecting surface, are called as reflected rays, and sorry, incident rays. And then when once they touch the reflecting surface, they get reflected, and those rays are called as reflected rays. And when a ray of light striking on a surface gets reflected, so this is called as reflected angle or angle of reflection. When the incident rays or touching this surface, this is called as angle of incidence or incidence angle. Okay, incidence angle or angle of incidence. So you have to understand what is meant by angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So when a light source is passed from the torch, Okay, these rays are called as incident rays, and this angle is called as angle of incidence. And then when the rays are reflected, these rays are called as reflected rays, and this angle is called as angle of reflection. And here also there is one picture which is showing incident ray and reflected ray. That blue colored is called as screen or surface. Okay, you can call it as surface. So incident rays, okay, they touches the surface and they gets reflected in the form of reflected rays. So the angle which is present in between the incident ray, so this red color line I have drawn perpendicular to the screen. Okay, so this is blue colored one is called as surface. So perpendicular to that I have drawn one line which is called as normal line. Okay, for your clear understanding I have drawn it. So the angle between incident ray, the angle between the incident ray and normal, the angle between incident ray and normal, this angle is called as angle of incidence. And the angle between the reflected ray and the normal ray or normal line is called as angle of reflection. So there are two angles, one is angle of incidence and second one is angle of reflection. Is it clear? Are you following?
Yes, miss, we're
You
following.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
So we have angle of incidence. First of all, what is incident ray? When a light ray is passed from the source of light. So this is called as incident ray, and this incident ray touches the surface and then gets reflected. Okay, this reflected one is called as reflected ray. And I have drawn one red color line perpendicular to the surface. And then now the angle between the incident ray and then this normal line is called as angle of incidence, and the angle between the reflected ray and then this normal line is called as angle of reflection. Okay, so this is called as reflection concept. So you have to understand what is reflected angle, what is reflected ray, or what is incident ray, or what is angle of incidence, what is angle of reflection, right? So this is all important points for you. So if it is clear, then these reflections are classified into two types based on the nature of the surface. Here I have taken blue colored surface. If you take this blue colored surface is a plain surface or a smooth surface or a shiny, normal surface, smooth surface. So these reflections are classified into two types. One is regular reflection, second one is irregular reflection. How many types
Don't
are
we?
classified into? These reflections are classified into two types. One is regular reflection, second one is irregular reflection. What is regular reflection is, so whatever the example I have shown is a regular reflection, because here you can see the reflected parallel beam of reflected ray is, it is very same as the incident ray. There is no confusion in it. How the incident ray is there, the same way the reflected ray is there. So there are some regular patterns of reflection. The way the incident ray is there, the same way the angle of reflection will be there, or the same way the reflected ray will be there. So there will be
Angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection.
so there is no zigzag or there is no any up and downs in the reflected ray. How the incident ray is there, the same way the reflected ray will be there. So this is called as regular reflection. While
Ma'am, if there is a rough surface, the angle of reflection will not be clear, no, ma'am.
not clear, it will be like, it will be like in a zigzag way. You open
Yes, ma'am.
page number 3 in your course books. Page number 3
Okay,
in
ma'am.
your course books.
Ma'am, time up, ma'am.
Okay.
What is the time now?
It's 11 to
11
1.
1.
11 1, ma'am.
Okay, then tomorrow I'll explain you about regular reflection and diffuse reflection or irregular reflection. But
Okay, ma'am.
whatever I have explained to you till now, is it clear for you all?
Clear, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you
Yes, ma'am.
understanding, or any concept you are facing any difficulty in understanding?
No, ma'am.
Clear, children?
No, ma'am.
Everybody?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, then go for the break. Tomorrow, let us meet again. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you.
Homework for you is please read your course book. Whatever I
Okay,
have
ma'am.
explained till now. Okay, page number 1 and 2 of your course book, please. Right. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.